at this time. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar is extending Eid-ul-Adha greetings to the Muslim community here in Trinidad and Tobago and around the world. In her message, the Prime Minister highlighted the significance of the sacred festival, commemorating the faith and obedience of Prophet Ibrahim and marking the culmination of the Hajj pilgrimage. She noted that Eid-ul-Adha is a time for prayer, reflection, sacrifice, and gratitude, reminding citizens of the importance of compassion, generosity, and service to others. The Prime Minister also emphasized the spirit of unity and charity as families and communities come together to share and support those in need. She wished the Muslim community a peaceful and blessed Eid, expressing hope that the occasion will inspire continued faith and national togetherness. In other news, as the mid-year budget review draws near, the Tobago House of Assembly is seeking to draw attention to several of its key priorities. Chief Secretary Farley Augustine addressed the issue while speaking with the media at TEMA's annual stakeholder meeting on disaster preparedness. He expressed hope that in the upcoming mid-year budget review, the Minister of Finance will give priority to allocating funds for the start of construction in the Scarborough Secondary School, which faces the threat of coastal erosion.
I'm insisting that we are going to start construction in this fiscal year, which means getting to the place of awarding a contract before the end of September.
The second priority relates to advancing non-traditional sports on the island, along with providing for sports that currently do not have support.
So, for example, I think greater provision needs to be made for cricket. We go around the island, almost every playing field is designated to football. I want to see some work done at the Dwight York Stadium as well, because that is critical for our athletes. Currently, we don't have any certified track on the island.
The Chief Secretary also highlighted the need for funding to enhance the island's tourism infrastructure. He further noted that he is expecting announcements of additional direct Caribbean Airlines flights. In more news, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is cautioning the public against taking part in a protest planned for today, Wednesday, emphasizing that no official request was made and no approval was granted for the event. In a media release, the TTPS acknowledged the public's constitutional right to peaceful protest, but stressed that in TNT remains under a state of emergency with specific legal restrictions in place. Police warned that any attempt to assemble without authorization during the SOE will be considered a violation of the law and could result in immediate action, including dispersal, arrest, and prosecution. The police services said it will deploy officers at the proposed location to prevent any unlawful assembly. In sport now, Trinidad and Tobago men's head coach Derek King has named a 22-man squad for the upcoming international friendly against South Korea on May 30th at the BYU South Field in Utah, USA. The squad features 3 new additions, including Ali Kazim Nakid, a 26-year-old midfielder with UAE-based Al Itifak FC, and son of former TNT captain David Nakid, and Jacob Green, a 23-year-old defender with Lexington SC in the USL Championship. The third newcomer, Kieran Ningenwa, a Scotland-born central defender who plays for Dunfermline FC. Returning to the team are USA-based players Dante Seeley and Kobe Henry, along with recalled members Daniel Phillips, Malik Khan, and Judah Garcia. However, Levi Garcia, Ajani Fortune, and Rio Cardines are not included, having been excused, while injuries have ruled out Wayne Frederick, Tyrese Spicer, and Luke Singh. Cardines is unavailable as his club, Crystal Palace, is competing in the Europa Conference League final today, Wednesday. And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today, Virmala Balkaran. Good morning, Virmala.
Good morning, Carrie. Happy Wednesday, middle of the week.
Happy Wednesday, the midweek mark.
I am so ready for that. I'm so ready for the weekend. But you know what?
Right.
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. I have to tell you something exciting.
What's that?
Today is World Flip Flop Day.
Today's World Flip Flop Day. All right. Okay. Why are you specifically so excited about World Flip Flop Day?
I don't know, because I love flip flops. I mean, I wish I can come to work in flip flops every single day. I really do love them.
So the thing about flip flops, right? Well, one, they're comfortable. You know,
Yeah.
they're lightweight. They they allow your feet to breathe, and but you still get the protection from like hard ground. I don't know what you like. Long time when I was a child, I used to
Yeah.
run around barefoot all the time. Now I don't know
Right.
what happened. Some real soft feet. If a little stone hit me there, and trouble.
And you can't do that anymore. They actually don't offer much protection because your feet are still exposed to the elements.
Yeah, but still, just the sole of your feet. Which reminds me, do you remember our OG flip-flops in Trinidad and Tobago from back in the days? I mean, the factory burned
The
down
rubber
some years
ones?
ago, unfortunately. Sorry?
The rubber ones?
Yes, the rubber ding-dings, we had so many names.
And so many
For those.
colors, and they would
Yeah.
just be like a mix-up of colors. So it was like
Yeah,
a
that's
tie-dye
right.
sort of splotches of. Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was like some of them were blue dominant, and then you see like these splashes of red and pink
Listen,
and
the
yellow in
teal
between.
ones, the
Some
teal
were-
ones were
Yeah.
really, really
you had
dominant
fancy
for me.
ones. You had like limited edition dashing sliders.
You never saw the teal greenish ones? I mean, everywhere I go, I would see that.
Yeah, I saw the yellow most prominently, the blue and the red. The teal, I
Okay.
guess you had like a special link up with the factory or something, Virmala.
I mean, and listen, I have not seen them in a very long time. Do they still exist?
I have seen them periodically, but I don't know if it's that somebody had a cachet of them remaining from somewhere,
Well,
and they just bring them out.
Now that the
in
rainy
small
season is
amounts.
officially here, I think you may want to stay away from those because as soon as it rains,
Oh yeah, like they have no grip whatsoever.
you know what? Maybe after so many years, they are making them with some sort of grip now.
I think they need to make a comeback. I think we need the I don't know if you heard the term I use, but we used to say this when I was younger as well, the dashing sliders.
Listen to me. And you know something? Back in that time, there was no need for marketing for these slippers.
No.
By the way, today is World Marketing Day, and that's
Oh, wow.
one product that actually did not need any marketing because it was just well marketed by itself.
By itself, I mean, like when you see those bright colors, it catches your attention immediately. So you didn't
Yeah.
need to wonder like where to get it. You just see enough people around with it, and they
Well-
were always on sale. I think it was like $3 a pair.
You know what, Carrie? I would love to know the price of one now. And for your birthday this year, I'm going to get you an assortment.
An assortment, not even just one pair.
Assortment of dashing sliders. So we have got a really packed show for you today, as usual. Today we talk all about CPL.
All right.
Darren Ganga joins us to weigh in on what's happening, to
Right.
give us an analysis of all the moves taking place for this season. And of course, the local draft has happened, and we're still awaiting some more players for the team. So definitely something that you want to keep your eyes on.
All right, so much to look forward to in the show, as usual, Virmala.
All right, Carrie, we'll talk soon.
We will. I'm just going to slide right out of this one.
I see what you did there. I'm going to buy you
Thank-
those. Have a good day, Carrie.
You too, Virmala. I'll see you later.
All right.
All right, when we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going after this short break.
TTG News every night at 7. TTG News, committed, accurate, relevant.
बेस्ट ही लगी
वो वाला कितने का है?
दिस वन इज ओनली 1,31,900 रुपीस क्या बात कर रहे हो यार 1,31,900 रुपए का फोन इतने में तो हमारे यहाँ एक शादी 2 मुंडन और पूरे मोहल्ले के बच्चों का हैप्पी बर्थडे हो जाता है वो भी ऑर्केस्ट्रा के
The time is now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. No, not that. Right now. Right now.
All I need is one night.
We're gonna have to splurge on it.
All I need is one night.
In the purse.
I went deaf on it.
No, not that. Right now. Right now.
All I need is one night.
We're gonna have to splurge on it.
All I need is one night.
In the purse.
I I went deaf on
This is the new day.
A new sound, a new style, a new style, a new class. Next 99.1 FM, the next level of radio.
Right now.
Unleash your imagination with TTG's terrific Toon Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world from Super Z. Or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forests alongside our robot pals from Bugsbot Ignition. Or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. Catch terrific Toon Time weekdays at 4:15 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. It's fun-filled adventure with terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, we need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Wednesday, 27th May 2026. The time now, it is 6:11 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Virmala Balkaran, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Let's take a look now at what's trending this morning. Well, education stakeholders are backing the Education Ministry's continuous assessment component, aimed at complementing the SE exam with a more holistic approach to student assessment by capturing skills and competencies a single written test cannot. And consultations on the reintroduction of the CAC officially began on Monday, bringing together stakeholders for feedback and discussion on the proposed changes. And the ministry says the reform is intended to better assess students beyond one exam sitting. Consultations will continue in the coming weeks across the education sector. And a police officer who allegedly kissed a female colleague on the lips without her consent in March last year has been charged with indecent assault and appeared before the Port of Spain Masters Court yesterday. PC Nkosi Nunez, attached to the Northern Division, was granted $200,000 bail with surety. The matter was adjourned to June 18th. The charge followed investigations by the Professional Standards Bureau after a report was made in June of 2025. And Muslims around the world are preparing to celebrate Eid al-Adha, the festival of sacrifice, one of the holiest observances in Islam. The celebration marks the culmination of the annual Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca and honors the faith and devotion of the Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him. According to Islamic tradition, Ibrahim was commanded by God to sacrifice his son as a test of faith. But before the act could be carried out, God intervened and provided a ram instead. Eid al-Adha symbolizes obedience, sacrifice, and unwavering faith. It's also a beautiful reminder of the importance of family, community, and gratitude for our many blessings. To everyone celebrating today, we wish you peace, joy, and a blessed Eid al-Adha. Well, coming up inside today's show, a landmark moment for healthcare in Trinidad and Tobago as we discuss the launch of the National Prosthetic Center in Pinal and how it's expected to transform the lives of amputees across the country. Plus, former West Indies captain and CPL host Darren Ganga joins us to break down the biggest storylines ahead of the 2026 CPL season. You know what to do. Grab your cup of coffee and settle in. Trinidad and Tobago Today has begun.
Attention viewers in Trinidad and Tobago. The Truth of God now airs on the TTT network every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. You won't want to miss the dynamic preaching and teaching of Pastor Jennings as he speaks from God's Holy Bible.
Believe what God says.
The Truth of God, every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on Trinidad and Tobago television. You can also watch The Truth of God 24/7 at thetog.tv.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Buried in the rhythm, hidden beneath the soil, sleeping within the spirit of Tobago, something awakens. On Friday, 29th May, Tobago Carnival 2026 awakens. Awaken to the sounds of mud, mass, music. From 4 p.m., the Pigeon Point Heritage Park transforms into the heartbeat of the island for the official launch of Tobago Carnival 2026. Witness the sunset ignite the sky as rhythm, color, and pure bacchanal energy consume the night. This is not just a launch. This is the awakening. Feel it, live it, be there. Tobago Carnival 2026. Mud, mass, music.
A new season equals new dreams, and many football fans are dreaming of their team actually winning this season. But the reality is that only one team can win. So many will just be dreaming and wishing and hoping that their team can deliver. Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea. Notice I have not mentioned Arsenal. Don't be upset, I'm not mentioning Man U either. This is Atto Bolden inviting all of you to follow the 12th man as they celebrate a new season on TTT and enjoy the ride.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
A landmark development in healthcare and rehabilitation in Trinidad and Tobago, the launch of the National Prosthetic Center in Penal. Well, the facility officially opened by Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesa alongside India's Minister of External Affairs, Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, is expected to transform the lives of amputees by providing free prosthetic assessment, fitting and rehabilitation services locally rather than forcing patients to travel abroad at enormous cost. The center, developed through collaboration between the government of Trinidad and Tobago, the government of India and the Jaipur Foot USA, is also expected to help clear a waiting list of more than 200 people currently in need of prosthetic care. Officials are saying that this could eventually position Trinidad and Tobago as a regional hub for prosthetic and rehabilitation services across the Caribbean. Well, joining us now to discuss the center's operations, its impact, and what this means for patients and families are the program manager of the National Prosthetic Center, Mr. Riyad Hassan Ali, and the Ministry of Health Partners HIPS advisor, Mr. David Constant. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
And thank you for joining us this morning. So this is
Thank you for having us.
groundbreaking.
Yes,
And I'm pretty sure you're very honored to be a part of something this special
definitely.
and this grand. So firstly, the launch of the center has really been described as a transformative moment for healthcare in Trinidad and Tobago. So from your perspective, what does this facility truly represent for amputees and families?
Well, actually, this facility don't only represent prostheses for their patients and their family. We symbolizes dignity, independence, and hope, sense of hope for these patients. Yeah, and even for their families, we can give their reassurance that their loved ones will be taken care of, get this type of specialized support right here in Trinidad. And as you said, it's free of charge.
To restore that kind of independence.
Oh, definitely.
It is quite liberating, and it's really, really wholesome as well.
From my, Riyad is right, and Riyad is a very, very capable center manager already, and he's really leading the charge and cutting down on the waiting list for amputations. But from my, as the health partnerships advisor, the Ministry of Health, it really has a personal effect on me, because you can see how international cooperation between Trinidad and Tobago and India has resulted in tangible benefits to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
And you see it in the testimonials. Joshua Cloud and Lisa Cadet, the first two recipients. You could have seen that, as Riyad said, it really restored hope, dignity, and independence, and some measure of productivity to families.
Yes,
so we're very, very happy for this accomplishment.
Before the center was established, so can you tell us a little bit about the challenges that amputees were facing when they tried to access maybe prosthetic services locally or even abroad? I know that's very expensive.
Yeah, it is. First and foremost, I believe when the patients are amputated, they are lost, meaning that they don't know where to turn to for prosthesis. They don't know if they could be allowed a prosthesis. And then we look at high costing of these prostheses. We look at flying abroad, getting problem with even Forex. So it's a big challenge, and now we have this center up and running. It's a blessing.
Yeah. Now, the health minister actually mentioned that there are currently more than 200 people waiting for prosthetic care, and also follow-up care.
Right.
How prepared is the center to service that demand?
Well, I think, as was alluded to earlier, we have a permanent facility that does the fabrication, fitting, and follow-up. So that is one of the ingredients that is in place for sustainability. Let me go back, though. The list of 200 people were from an actual temporary camp that took place last year.
October, November.
Between October and November, for about 50 days, where over 800 people received prosthetics. So it pointed to a need. Mm-hmm. So those 200 persons were persons who could not have accessed the camp last year. Mm-hmm. But Riyad and his team are already cutting down into that list. The center opened on May 9th, which is a Saturday. If I remember.
Yes.
And from Monday morning, Riyad and his team are already cutting down into that list.
Yes.
I think right now the throughput is about 2 or 3 limbs a day while we build capacity. But as persons continue to be trained and what have you, we'll be able to have more throughput. But we really, we are prepared. We have the materials and support from Jaipur Foot USA. We have an on-site expert technician from India who is providing technology transfer and training to Riyad and the staff. So I think very, very soon we'll be able to cut down and probably eliminate that list.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, Riyad, this is definitely a very rewarding job for you as well, to be able to see people come in, dealing with one set of emotions and circumstances and then leaving with another. Yeah. So can you walk us through what happens when a patient first arrives at the center, when they start filling out that form, to that point where they are rehabilitated or getting that service that they need, and they'll be able to leave there, and I should say walk out of there.
Yes, definitely. Sure. So when the patient comes in, so normally we work by referral base only. And as David mentioned, we have a backlog of patients that were rescheduled. And they were rescheduled because they were not just ready for fitting at that time at the Niagara Center, yes? And when they come into the center, we have a medical orderly who will assist the patient in, take them to the reception area where the forms have been filled out, simple database forms. We assess the patient, we measure, fit, fabricate, we measure, fabricate, and fit. So the patient comes in on a wheelchair and they walk out with their prosthesis same day.
That is absolutely beautiful.
That is life-changing, very life-changing.
Now, I saw that you brought some...
show and tell.
Yes.
Some material for us this morning. Can you tell us what these...
So, first and foremost, this is a below-knee prosthesis.
Okay.
Yeah, for patients who has a transtibial amputation. And this is an above-knee for patients who has This is for above knee, transfemoral.
I see.
And one of the things that's very interesting is very, very light.
Yeah, it's
flexible
very durable as well.
Yeah. On average, it lasts about 3 to 5 years, and then they could come in for follow-up.
I see, and then hopefully get them replaced.
Yes.
Wow.
If need be.
So we're taking a closer look at these right now on the screen, and these are what you have been able to outfit and change lives with.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Wow. All right. Thank you for showing that to us, gentlemen. Now, how are you able to provide such rapid service as we're talking about going in a wheelchair and being able to walk out? And such a simple process you explained to us. So how can you do this so quickly?
Well, I think it's a Jaipur for technology.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we've seen, when in the workshop setting, everything is like laid out. I like to say it's like a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
And as I said before, we have the expert technician. We have Riyadh. Riyadh has about 20 years of experience in the field.
Okay.
And in the area.
Yep.
And those two are our two technicians who are coming up to speed with the technology. But the Jaipur for technology, what I've realized is low cost, but very, very efficient.
Yeah.
All right, and what I've seen is that it's really a conveyor belt where persons can receive that limb same day, and that is what was taking place. I see Lisa Cadet, our first recipient. Lisa Cadet would have come in, and Joshua Gloud. Yeah, that was at the launch. Would have come in and would have received a limb
now it
within
looks
24
almost
hours.
lifelike, and I'm realizing that it's also tailored to each person. So it
definitely
pretty much
it's custom made for the individual.
It looks so comfortable as well, and they look so happy.
Yeah.
Now, seeing these transformations firsthand, what has that been like for you? We saw Lisa here, there's Joshua. How is that experience for you working in all of this?
Oh yeah, it's been a really, really lovely experience seeing these patients come in, feeling all depressed and don't know where to turn to. And when they come and we have fitted these patients, they are so happy. You see with tears of joy.
Yeah.
We regain these people independence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and you are actually able to go home every day and say, I have changed lives.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think you're right. As I said, from my personal perspective, I've met Joshua, I've met Lisa, and I've seen the testimonials. We see people dancing, doing push-ups, and some are even crying, and they're really, because I think they've gotten their dignity has been restored, which is which is the main thing. But I think also too, it's not only Riyadh and me, but there's been a team, especially from India. Jaipur Foot USA, the government of India, the Indian High Commission. There are a lot of local businessmen from India who support as well. The Ministry of Health, especially in terms of the facility. Different local and international stakeholders, other ministries. So it's really been a team effort, because I think, and it was really led by when Prime Minister Modi came last year. And Prime Minister Modi and our Prime Minister met, and in addition to different areas in health, different areas in corporation health, renal dialysis, ambulances, India, pharmaceuticals from India, prosthetics was one of the main areas.
Yeah.
And I think we saw that strategic mandate, and which ultimately led to the prosthetic center.
Yeah. Now, you spoke about the collaboration and just being able to do all of this. It really takes a lot of effort. And this collaboration with the government of India has really borne fruit, as you said. And this is just one of the many projects that has come out of that. Now, diabetes also remains one of the leading causes of amputations in Trinidad and Tobago. Gentlemen, are you seeing a significant number of patients who are affected by diabetes-related limb loss?
Well, yes. We have been seeing most of our patients actually are diabetic related. Most of them,
Wow.
Most of them.
And that is really alarming, and it goes to speak to a greater problem that we have as well.
Yes, so I remember during the minister's remarks at the health minister's remarks at the launch, 15% of the adult population are diabetic. And a lot of people do not know. And we're seeing a rising incidence of childhood obesity and childhood diabetes. One of the things that really resonated that the health minister said during his remarks, that this is an accomplishment for Trinidad and Tobago. We're restoring dignity, restoring independence, restoring hope to persons. And the center addressed a glaring need because, as Riyadh would have said earlier, access was very, very limited.
That's right.
So we have this permanent facility here providing these limbs free of charge. But I remember what he said, it's an accomplishment, but it's also an opportunity for reflection, because what we really have to do as the Ministry of Health and different stakeholders, even media, we have to bring about positive behavior change.
Yes.
We have to focus a lot, probably even strengthen our prevention measures, our wellness, prevention, testing, awareness, because we really need to reduce demand for artificial limbs.
Yeah.
All right. So that was something that resonated. But diabetes is an issue, but it's something that I know that the minister and the Ministry of Health and the government at large would be very, very keen to address.
Now, the Prime Minister also spoke about Trinidad and Tobago possibly becoming a regional hub for specialized rehab within CARICOM. So, gentlemen, how realistic is that vision in the coming years?
Definitely. And I think the Prime Minister laid out that strategic vision. So that and it shows that at the highest levels of government that this vision was already thought out. I think with the presence of the center, that's one of the main ingredients. We have the standalone facility. We have the cooperation with India that not only has the expert technician for 12 months that's on the ground providing technology and information transfer, but also Jaipur Foot USA has committed for on a multi-year basis the inputs and the materials and supplies to be able to make the limbs. So we're going to become sustainable. We're going to build capacity. But I think also to remembering what the Prime Minister said, that while we look towards ultimately and eventually serving regional clientele, our first priority is to our people. Yeah. Our first priority is to our people. We have a glaring need. We have which the center is addressing really, really well with Riyadh's leadership.
Yeah.
But so I really think I would say probably short to medium term, we could start to look at serving regional clients. Definitely, it's definitely possible.
I know there's also a discussion about training local technicians at the center. So why is developing our local expertise so important for the sustainability of this program?
Oh, definitely it is, because then we can service more patients.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have more patients on an everyday basis. As of to date, I must say we have done 29 patients. Yeah, 29 patients who came in without any limbs and left with their limbs. 29 patients. So training local technician, yes, is a plus, because we'll have a wider variety, a great accomplishment there in providing more service to the people.
For viewers this morning, all the information is on the screen for you right now, so you can check out all of that and get in contact with them. Gentlemen, what kind of long-term support or follow-up services do you provide for patients or they're able to receive after they're fitted?
So all the patients that we service and fit, we are working with the Southwest Regional Health Authority to have the physiotherapists at the center as well, and we call back all these patients and reschedule them for some physiotherapy and have them, properly moving at a pace that we want them to. Yeah.
I think one of the benefits of it being a referral service is that they would be most times under the care of a medical practitioner.
Yes.
So their diabetes and the diabetes levels and actually the wound would the amputation site would have been healed. So, but the thing is, the good thing about the center, there would be that follow up in terms of your limb. Yes. How is it fitting?
Yeah.
Is it okay? And then Riyadh and the team could make any adjustments as necessary.
Any adjustments, we do it there and then. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, for anyone who may want to reach out to the center, again, we have that information on the screen for you now. You can reach out there. They're located in Clark Road, Pinal. It's LP96 Clark Road, Pinal. Yes. So thank you. And I want to say, really, we're so grateful for all the work that you are continuing to do at this National Prosthetic Center. This is a game changer, definitely huge for not just Trinidad and Tobago, but possibly the Caribbean. Yes. And you're changing lives. I hope you understand the magnitude of what you do. You're changing lives one day at a time.
Yes.
And this is just
before
amazing.
We go, I think whenever I see someone with that has an amputation, I always go up to them.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm seeing everything with those lenses now.
Okay.
Hey, you need some help? Here's my number. Let's see how we can help.
We love that. Well, thank you very much
for
spending this morning with us, gentlemen, for explaining a lot about this new center. And we look forward to seeing so many stories like Lisa and Joshua coming out of the center.
Definitely.
Thank you very much once again. 6:36, that's the time in Sweet TNT this morning. We take a short break, and when we come back, Darren Ganga joins us to talk all about CPL.
The Emancipation Support Committee of Trinidad and Tobago presents IWA Africa 2026, A Flair for Freedom, a fashion odyssey weaving African consciousness through style. Directed by Richard Young at the Winifred Atwell Auditorium, Queen's Hall, St. Anne's. Sunday, 7th June 2026. 4 p.m. Prelude, 5 p.m. Presentation, 7 p.m. Pavilion. Igniting African consciousness, dismantling colonial legacies, a flair for freedom. IWA Africa 2026.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m., Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
Hey, up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just what you need. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Excitement is already building ahead of the 2026 Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League season, following a dramatic CPL draft that delivered blockbuster player transfers, major squad shakeups, and fresh rivalries across the region. Across the biggest talking points heading into the new season is the move of Guyanese spinner Gudakesh Moti from the Guyana Amazon Warriors to the Barbados Tridents after 5 seasons, while defending champions, the Trinbago Knight Riders, have retained much of their title-winning core, including Sunil Narain, Nicholas Puran, Karen Pollard, and Akil Hussain, as they prepare to defend their crown. The Jamaica Kingsmen have also added explosive stars Andre Russell, Rovman Powell, while several franchises made bold moves ahead of what is expected to be another highly competitive CPL season. Well, joining us now to discuss the upcoming tournament is former West Indies captain, former Trinidad and Tobago cricketer, and respected cricket broadcaster Darren Ganga. And Ganga has remained one of the most recognized voices and faces of the Caribbean Premier League through his work as a commentator and analyst over the years. With his deep knowledge of the regional game and close connection to CPL, there's perhaps no better person to discuss the major storylines ahead of the 2026 season and what fans can expect from this year's tournament. Good morning, Darren.
Good morning, Charlotte. Good morning to your viewers. Thank you for that kind introduction. And yes, you've captured the essence of the Republic Bank CPL in 2026. So many different things to look forward to. We know it's the biggest party in sport, but it has also impacted in terms of the entertainment value for the fans looking on at the actual cricket, and then the economic impact of hosting CPL matches. There's always a buzz throughout the Caribbean when this tournament is being hosted. I mean, I'll go one step further. I think if you reflect on Caribbean sport, the Caribbean Premier League is probably the only annual sporting event in this region that captures the hearts and imaginations of the people. And that is significant. I even think if you compare the CPL to maybe a series hosted by Cricket West Indies with the West Indies cricket team playing, you might get more of a pull with the crowd and the entire group of people and spectators from a nation going to a CPL match as against a West Indies international match. As sad as it may sound, I think the passion is still there for cricket, but the CPL just has that extra bit of excitement. So thank you for having me.
You're most welcome, Darren. As I said, there's no better person to weigh in on this than you. Now, the 2026 CPL draft brought several major player movements ahead of the new season. I know it's also the local and regional players. But from a cricketing perspective, how much can a few transfers influence the momentum and balance of a T20 tournament?
Well, it's very, very impactful. You can only play a brand of cricket that is linked to the resources that you have. So if the brains trust of a particular franchise does not select the right combination of players, the right quality of players, maybe give themselves latitude in terms of players of different styles who can exploit different conditions, because as you know, the CPL is played across a multiplicity of venues, and many of these venues are quite distinct, quite different. You compare St. Lucia and that Darren Sammy cricket ground to maybe Providence Stadium in Guyana, it's completely different. One has, in St. Lucia, more bounce, more pace, more carry. Seam predominantly dominates. And then you go to Guyana, it's a little bit slower. The bounce is a little bit lower, and spin dominates there. So having the right players with the right skill sets to exploit those conditions will be critical. And if you look across the teams, we've seen some movement. Mind you, we've just had that first round of the draft where the local and regional players have been selected. If you look at Antigua and Barbuda Falcons, you can see significantly Joel Andrew, who is a local talent. He's now moved and gone from that Antigua and Barbuda Falcons team to St. Lucia Kings. We've had Justin Graves, Dominic Drakes, Jed Gooley coming into the Trinbago Knight Riders. And you did mention Gudakish Moti, to me, the most significant of moves, moving from his home territory, Guyana, and going to now renamed Barbados Tridents, not Barbados Royals, but Barbados Tridents. That to me is a game changer. Many Guyanese will be very disappointed with the fact that they wouldn't have the services of Gudakish Moti, because last season he was very good in his 12 matches, 18 wickets, and he's also had a very good first-class season with the Guyana Harpy Eagles, 27 wickets in 4 matches that he played. So that's a wicket taker. He's also an all-rounder. He can hit a long ball. So that move by Gudakish Moti will just have a few heads turning, to be quite honest.
Now, Darren, we're talking about changes, but I want to talk a little bit about continuity. So we're seeing that the Trinbago Knight Riders have retained much of their championship winning core ahead of their title defense. So in a fast-moving format like T20 cricket, how important is this continuity and squad stability?
It's very important. Having had the chance of leading teams in the past in this format, you want to have a core of players that understands the culture of the team. And I think that is something that has served well for the Trinbago Knight Riders. Of course, they are defending champions. It took them 5 years to win their 5th title. So they've gone through a period of trial and tribulations. They had that transitioning in the leadership as well, with Nicholas Puran taking over from Karen Pollard. So when you have those sort of seismic shifts within a team, it takes a little bit of time for the results to come, and that is what the Knight Riders have gone through. So I really think when you have a team with Karen Pollard, Akil Hussain, Nicholas Puran, Sunil Narain, that's the core that has continued for a number of years. That's the core that is going to drive that winning culture within the team. You would expect that they will try to keep it very fresh with new players, and I did mention players like Justin Graves, Dominic Drakes, Jed Gooley coming into the fold for the Knight Riders this season. We haven't seen or heard of any sort of overseas players linked with the team. One significant omission from that team for this 2026 season would be Andrew Russell, who's now gone to the Jamaica Kingsmen, and that's a new team in this tournament. So it's no longer 6 teams, it's 7 teams now. That will just change the dynamic of the tournament, the format, the fact that now there's an additional team competing for that top 4 slot. So it makes it very, very interesting. And I just want to see the form of all the teams, because for me, you can have the best team on paper, but if the form of that team as a collective is not where it's supposed to be at the start of the tournament, they will find themselves behind the 8 ball and find themselves searching for form throughout the tournament, which is not ideal, but you want to get into form, into running gear quite early in a tournament. So you can prime players, you can make sure that you have your best informed 11 to play the playoffs and an eventual final.
Now, Darren, we have some changes in terms of venues as well. I know that matches will return to Jamaica for the first time since 2019. And also, I believe St. Vincent will host some games for the very first time. So at the beginning, you spoke about, CPL being the biggest party in sport and being able to develop the Caribbean in terms of sport. So how significant are these developments for regional cricket and also, most importantly, fan engagement across the Caribbean?
Well, straight away, if you followed West Indies cricket, you would know that there was a big concern about cricket and how it's being developed in Jamaica. Jamaica traditionally has always been a very strong cricketing nation. You think of legendary players coming out from that landscape, Courtney Walsh, Christopher Gale, Lawrence Rowe, all these players coming from Jamaica. They've had a strong lineage to West Indies teams and that legacy that we so proudly speak about. So it is a refreshing piece of news for all West Indians and all cricket-loving supporters to know that Jamaica Kingsmen, they are now part of the Republic Bank CPL, and they would now be working with the government of Jamaica, working on the ground in Jamaica to ensure that they identify talent, they incentivize talent, they get the best talent coming out of Jamaica and playing and representing this team. I'm very excited for this year's tournament because my focus has always been on the Gen X, the Gen Zs, the next band of West Indian players, the next band of CPL players, because to be quite honest, we had a West Indies under-19 team that really played well in the recent ICC under-19 World Cup. So I'm very, very keen to see a player like Vittel Laws, left-arm wrist spinner who is homegrown in Jamaica, now selected for the Jamaica Kingsmen. I think he has a great future ahead of him. We haven't seen a lot of wrist spinners come out from the Caribbean. He is definitely destined to probably go on to play for the West Indies, but how he deals with the high pressure of the CPL, playing in a tournament for the first time. He's only a young man, but I think players like him will want to showcase their talent. There's also Jonathan Van Lange from out of Guyana. He played in that final against the Red Force. Young, talented player. Akeem O'Geese is on the rise too. He's one of the players playing for St. Lucia Kings. Mackenzie, another right-arm wrist spinner, who will be playing for St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. Those are the young players I'm keeping my eyes on amongst the band of younger players coming through. But great to see Jamaica hosting the CPL again. That will create the incentive for them to bring through a next group of players who might go on to represent the West Indies and widen that pool. And another Windward Island country in St. Vincent and the Grenadines getting a chance to host. That's the home country of the current president of Cricket West Indies, Dr. Kishore Shallow. So I'm definitely sure it's going to, I would say, heighten the interest of this edition of the Republic Bank CPL. And we all, I would think, as spectators and stakeholders in this lovely game, will benefit from that.
So, Darren, let's talk finals now. The CPL final will be hosted in Barbados for the very first time. So organizers are already reporting, strong ticket sales internationally and markets like USA, I believe, Canada, Guyana, and of course, Trinidad and Tobago. So what does that say to you about the growing global reach of the CPL brand? And you are a CPL ambassador in your own regard. And I'm sure when you travel and, when you have discussions with people, you've realized how much CPL has grown. It is such a worldwide brand.
Indeed. I mean, it has grown from 2013 to 2026 now. This will be a very significant year for the Republic Bank CPL. Let's not forget the massive women's CPL, how they've cultivated women's cricket and has aided and assisted in developing the women's game in this part of the world. But for Barbados to host this final, remember there were times when Barbados was bereft of hosting the marquee matches in the CPL. Now it's their turn. Guyana has had that opportunity, Trinidad too. So Barbados will open arms to this edition of the Republic Bank CPL. And if you really reflect on this tournament, you would know that the Republic Bank CPL is pretty much offering fans, spectators, an opportunity to have and enjoy destination cricket because, as I mentioned earlier, it's a multiplicity of venues. You can plan and prepare a holiday, whether with friends or family, to one of the Caribbean destinations, have a great time, use cricket as a conduit for you to, of course, travel, have a holiday, and look at high value cricket. Because when you go to countries like Barbados, there's so many things to do over and beyond the cricket as well. So even if your interest is not primarily on cricket, you can do a lot of other things. So that is what makes the CPL very unique. I've just come from the IPL, the Tata IPL, and I can tell you that's very much business. The entire of India, the largest democracy, stands still to take note of the Tata IPL. And the sort of economic impact of the IPL is felt. When you travel across the length and breadth of India, you know that the IPL is unfolding because there's an extra buzz. Every television set, every handheld is on an IPL match. And for nearly 2.5 months, there are matches happening. The same you can say for the CPL because we're so passionate about cricket. And as I mentioned earlier, this is the only annual sporting tournament that you can plan for, that you can follow, you can show loyalty towards a franchise team, and you can, as we say in local parlance, you can get your cricket fix, so to speak.
Thank you very much, Darren, for joining us this morning, breaking that down for us ahead of, CPL 2026. So we want to thank you very much once again for making the time. We know that you have a very busy day involved with UE Games and all of that, but have a great day, Darren. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me.
All right, take care. That's Darren Ganga joining us to talk all about CPL 2026. Well, we've got Carrie coming up with the major network news at the top of the hour. We take a break. Before that, we come back inside the next.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Whatever the skies bring, stay prepared with TTT Weather. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
क्या बात करता है यार? गणपति ने तेरे सामने आके तुझसे बात की? और नहीं तो क्या? गणपति जी मेरे सामने आए और मेरे कान में बोले कि अजय, अगर तू अपनी मम्मी को खुश देखना चाहता है तो आज ही अपने डैडी के स्टूडियो जा, उनका हाथ पकड़ और उनसे अपनी मम्मी की शादी के बारे में बात कर। बाकी सब मैं संभाल लूंगा। वो सब संभाल सकते हैं यार, वो तो भगवान है, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। इसीलिए तो मैं फिर सनम माना, फिर सनम माना, ओ इससे पहले नहीं, ठहरे रहना वहीं, आ जाना अभी नहीं, जब मैं
Good morning. This is your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts, making the news at this time. The government has made further progress in its efforts to cut the country's food import bill. On Tuesday, the first crop from the Black Eye Bean pilot project, launched in March 2026, was successfully harvested. Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Ravi Ratiram described it as the first of several initiatives planned.
Agriculture can no longer be viewed solely as a traditional sector. Agriculture is economic diversification. Agriculture is trade development, and agriculture is nutritional security.
Minister Ratiram made the statements during the harvesting ceremony for the pilot project at the Central Experiment Station in Caroni on Tuesday morning. The minister stressed the importance of this country's ability to be self-sustainable.
And as a country, we must continue building the capacity to produce more of our own food, strengthen our domestic supply system, and reduce excessive dependence on imported commodities that leaves us vulnerable to external shocks and global market disruption.
Minister Ratiram explained that according to projections, locally produced black eye beans can remain competitive within the market while creating viable income opportunities for producers. In some more news, as weather patterns grow increasingly unpredictable, Trinidad and Tobago is taking an active role in boosting the Caribbean's preparedness for extreme conditions. A regional workshop currently underway is centered on improving early warning systems.
It's not just about saying whether it's going to be cloudy or sunny, but it's going to highlight what impact will the weather today have on me as an individual and on society.
Director of the Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service, Shakir Beg, says as weather patterns become more unpredictable, traditional forecasts may no longer provide enough information for citizens to adequately prepare. He emphasized that early warning systems are especially critical for farmers, fishermen, commuters, and sailors. He noted that efforts are already underway to provide more targeted practical information to those most affected.
We have started at the Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service. We have started providing information to various sectors of our communities. We are providing an agricultural forecast which is specially geared towards letting farmers know over a particular period of time what sort of weather to expect. By doing this, the farmers can manage the time in which they lay their seedlings in the ground, as well as harvest the crops. And so the one most important piece of information for farmers will be the weather information.
The 4-day workshop is focused on impact-based warning systems and common alert protocols, two key tools that could save thousands of lives and billions of dollars. In some sport now, the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup draw was just concluded in Miami, and it makes for an interesting contest for the Trinidad and Tobago teams. The two TT Premier Football League clubs who qualified for the regional competition are champions Defence Force FC and runners-up Club Sando FC, and they were both drawn in Group A, along with Haitian outfit Violette AC, SV Broki of Suriname, and the yet-to-be-determined CFU Club Shield runners-up. Group B comprises of Cibao FC of the Dominican Republic and their countrymen Salcedo FC, as well as Jamaican duo Cavale FC and Portmore United FC. The CFU Club Shield champions will complete the group. The Caribbean Cup is set to kick off on August 4th, 2026. And that's what's making the news at this time. When we come back, it's hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports with Nasira Mohammed, daily at 7 p.m.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel. And I never regretted it.
Your heart, brain, and body work hard every day. Give them the support they deserve with omega-3. Packed with essential fatty acids, omega-3 helps support heart health, brain function, and overall wellness. Whether you're staying active, focused, or simply living life to the fullest, live healthier with omega-3. Wellness that works from within. Tune in to Wellness Unlocked on TTT Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:45 a.m.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel. And I never regretted it.
The time is now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. No, not that. Right now.
All I need is one night. We're gonna have to splurge on it. All I need is one night. I went deaf on it. No, not that. Right now. All I need is one night. We're gonna have to splurge on it. All I need is one night. I went deaf on it.
This is the new day.
A new sound, a new style, a new style, a new class. Next 99.1 FM, the next level of radio.
Right now.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today on TTT. Well, the 2026 Mindstar National Spelling Bee and Tech Park Grand Finals brought together some of Trinidad and Tobago's top young students for a showcase of literacy, confidence, and academic excellence at the Southern Academy for the Performing Arts. The event continues to grow as one of the country's leading educational competitions, combining spelling, leadership, and technology awareness among young people. Well, joining us now to discuss this year's successful event is Director of A.L. Williams Educational Services and Consultancy, Adana Leonard Williams. Good morning, Adana. Welcome to the studio.
Yes, good morning to you.
So the last time you were joining us, we were talking about the spelling bee that was about to happen. Correct. Now it's all over.
Yes,
so how do you feel now that the Mindstar National Spelling Bee and Tech Park has officially been concluded?
How do I feel? I feel accomplished. I feel the mission has been accomplished. I feel that the vision that I wanted has been permeated into the atmosphere with all the principals, teachers and parents who were there, that it doesn't just stop at the competition, but the impact is that it continues into all the various schools that were there to see that a spelling bee could be a wow factor in your daily school, in your school every day. Create something in your school that you have a spelling bee competition and that excitement, because after that, everybody, I'm coming back, I'm coming next year. The supporters, the students, they're letting you know, so you know that something, definitely the impact was huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
So describe the atmosphere for us inside SAPA during the grand finals. Tell us all about it.
Well, the students, the participants, and their supporters, which are their peers, a lot of excitement. Students brought placards, chants were done. They were just happy to be there. They were screaming. The excitement, the atmosphere was amazing. There's nothing that was negative. The students they were happy to just be in, a competitive nature, bragging rights for their schools. It was just amazing, fantastic. Just not because I'm the person who organized it, I'm saying that, but you could interview anyone who was there, from a student, a principal, participant, parent, and they will tell you, I can't believe it was astonishing.
Yeah.
I was shocked to see the students spelling so many difficult words that in, the sentiments expressed was, oh, those words were too hard. But those children showed that sky's the limit. Those children showed that we overcome challenges. And that was my main thing. My main goal was that once we teach the children from young, and once we keep them within a certain fair atmosphere, they will do the best that they can. They will achieve good things.
So tell us about the level of preparation and confidence shown by the students this year.
Well, from every phase, from preliminaries to the semi-finals to finals, what you saw was improvement in that students needed that as they rose from preliminaries to semi-finals. You see that the fear factor died. You saw persons become more courageous students. You saw them, their confidence grew in their stature, and you saw them put more work and effort. The work and the effort was there, because when we had several rounds for Shala, they didn't stop. Competitor after competitor spelling all their words right, and the judges, they looked at me like, these children really did learn these words. Yeah. Principals were shocked. Miss, I couldn't believe that this is what we were going to get, but it happened, and that was, as I said, mission accomplished.
Now, what do you think makes the Mindstar competition different from other spelling bees in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, marrying language and technology, that makes Mindstar spelling bee different. The tech park aspect, people might ask themselves, why a tech park? How does that culminate with language? But good communication skills, both oral and written, is language, and technology, reading and writing is fundamental. So you need to be able to read, even though if it's from students loving their devices, you have to have literacy to be able to do so. So why not excite them a little more with their virtual reality? Why excite them with robotics, getting into robotics? Excite them with some science aspect from NIHS. Innovative Robotics Services did a fantastic job. Mr. Shrika and his team, the students, first time they saw so many robots, and the boys just took the controls like if they were now playing Roblox or something, and they just feel enthusiastic about the whole experience. And this is what you want. You want that when students come to a competition, you don't want it just be about, oh, we're competitive, we're nervous, and you don't want that. You want that the children have a fun, loving aspect of it that is still engaging, that is still educational, and still has the opportunity for growth and development. And you saw it there. Because what you saw also is that from the robotics aspect, which we don't have in our school system, you saw that students, they want to know more. So that's something we come to next, robotics. Yeah.
Were there any standout moments for you throughout this? I'm sure there were many.
Yeah. Okay, yes. One main standout moment is that out of the 6 categories, 3 primary and 3 secondary schools, you had 5 boys winning and 1 girl in the Form 1 and 2 placing first. And I was very that particular aspect of it, we have in our system, they see that the male is not doing well, the boys are failing, and they hear all that talk for a while now. So when I saw the boys rose to the occasion, I said, what did I do different to make these boys want to come up to that task, to be first place winners? So that was one of the main things for me. I was just really pleased about that because in the past, I've been doing my own personal research as to what will make boys be more successful in our education system. So I was happy that the boys topped the groups.
Yeah, I'm seeing some highlights on the screen right now, some trophies. Wow. Looks like it was a really good time.
Yes.
Truly. And you had to pull together a lot for this competition.
Yes.
Now, you had the support of a big team, or was it just a very small team like yourself plus a few?
No, team is very important. So it's not a matter of a big team, it's a matter of a competent and efficient team. So yes, I did have a competent and efficient team. My head judge, Ms. Sharon Phillip, who's also coordinator of the DPED English program at the university. I had Ms. Washington Frank. She is from Tobago. She is the manager of the Tobago leg. We have Ms. Patricia Ogis. We also have Ms. Davy Ramsing. Very competent ladies in terms of judging and excellence in English. We also had the UE volunteers, and I'd like to thank Ms. Emily Joseph for putting those university students. They went above and beyond, and I told them, I commended them. I was really pleased of how they went about making sure that everything, all the pieces fit together. And you can't forget the sponsors, B-Mobile, making that 360 booth. Teachers, parents, students, they were in love with that 360 booth. I was watching, I said, I wanted to be on 360 booth. I couldn't get on. I said, let the students, parents, let them enjoy themselves. Them, UTTB in there for the Tech Park, Nihis, and again, innovative robotics. And our prizes came from Mabrol Insurance Brokers. We have the Device Hub. It came from there. And snacks is very important to these children. So you had holiday snacks, Kiss, you had SM Jaleel, you had Bermuda's Biscuit, and we also had some sponsors coming on because it was a big task. So you had Supreme AC air conditioning, they came on. IQA, the call center persons, they came on because even Uncle Sam's and Sons, it's a big task. When you have students there, you need to be able to, do your best for them. Children want prizes. So you have to try to get as much as you can to motivate them.
I'm seeing these students now on the screen, and it appears that they're answering some questions and they're doing their spelling. That is tremendous, and we're looking forward to the next one. So speaking of that, what's next for Mindstar?
Right, so what's next? You always listen to feedback from your stakeholders. So Miss, this will get bigger. We need a Mindstar National Primary School competition by itself and a Mindstar National Secondary School by itself. And I really love to move it to that September part there because I want my Form 5 and 6s, not parents calling, Miss, I wish my child could have been able to take part. So that would be out of exam time. So that's what we're hoping for, to expand and to move into teams. So not one student from a team, but schools versus schools to bring the bragging rights home.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Adana, for being here. Mindstar Spelling Bee. If you were a part of that, well, I'm sure you had such a great time. And if not, you still have maybe the next one. You never know. Well, Adana is definitely going to keep us posted. 18 minutes after 7 o'clock. We hope you're having a great morning. If you're streaming us live on Facebook and YouTube, a special hello to you. Thank you for being here. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, the show continues.
TTT Weather with Zaina James, daily at 7 p.m.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digicel is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Buried in the rhythm, hidden beneath the soil, sleeping within the spirit of Tobago. Something awakens. On Friday, 29th May, Tobago Carnival 2026 awakens. Awaken to the sounds of mud, mass, music. From 4 p.m., the Pigeon Point Heritage Park transforms into the heartbeat of the island for the official launch of Tobago Carnival 2026. Witness the sunset ignite the sky as rhythm, color, and pure bacchanal energy consume the night. This is not just the launch. This is the awakening. Feel it, live it, be there. Tobago Carnival 2026. Mud, mass, music.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house lives. We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar. This isn't just radio, it's tradition. It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
PMOS, formerly widely known as PCOS, is a condition that affects thousands of women worldwide, impacting everything from hormones and fertility to mental health, weight, confidence, and overall quality of life. Yet, for many women, the journey can often feel isolating and misunderstood. A new event titled Persevering with PCOS, the Community Experience, hopes to change that by creating a space for honest conversations, expert medical insight, and real community support for women navigating this condition right here in Trinidad and Tobago. And the seminar takes place this coming weekend and will feature expert circles, lifestyle discussions, and real talk panels focused on the lived experiences of women with PMOS. Actually, I'm honored to also be joining the event as one of the speakers. Well, joining us this morning is host of the event, Yashi Carrington. Good morning, Yashi.
Hi, good morning.
So lots of preparations are going into this. I can only imagine how busy you are. And this is a really, really grand task that you're undertaking. And what inspired you to create Persevering with PCOS, the community experience?
So thank you, first of all, for having me. It's really from a lived experience. I was diagnosed with PCOS probably over 20 years ago. And at the time, I really didn't understand how it would impact my life. Because basically you get the advice. It's like, okay, you come back if you need to, when you get metformin and birth control. And they tell you come back when you are ready to get pregnant. And so at the time I felt so isolated and confused, and many years later I was doing a blog and I shared about my journey with PCOS, now PMOS, and it struck me that I had persons in my close circle who were also dealing with this condition by themselves, and we knew each other and we were close for so many years, and I didn't know they were dealing with it alone. And from then on, I decided to share my story a little bit more. So in 2021, I was able to actually do what we call the Persevering with PCOS Virtual Summit, where I had over 30 speakers and I had almost 400 participants sign up virtually. And then I really saw, I was like, okay, people need this. People are looking for community. People are looking for information, for support. And so this event on Sunday marks exactly 5 years since I've done the virtual summit. And just talking to persons who have been dealing with the condition, they are so excited to be able to be part of it and to learn more and to really find that community.
Yeah, I know. That's one thing about this event that really strikes me. Not just lived experiences, but not just medicine, but also lived experiences and community support.
Yes.
And that's very important, when you're dealing with this condition and you realize, well, when we met, we said, oh, okay, we have this in common. And that by itself really allowed us to bond and to gel a little bit more and to share those experiences.
Yes.
So you've been doing a lot of work in this area, and this is just another step forward for you. So what can people expect now from this expert circle session that you're having?
Right. So yes, so it's very important to me for persons to also have the right information, right? So the expert circle is really your full team, because when you have a condition like PCOS or PMOS, you realize it is so multifaceted and it affects you in so many different ways. It may not just be one specialist you need to go to. You need to go to several, fortunately or unfortunately for the condition. So the expert circle has the experts in gynecology. So we have Dr. Sandra Black-Box-Hill, who will be speaking on it. And then we have the endocrinologist, Dr. Anissa Ragbear. Now, I thought it was very, very important to have her there as well because, now that it's renamed and it is recognizing that it's a polyendocrine metabolic ovarian syndrome, we need to understand, what does that mean? How does that change our care? And even for myself, I have actually not ever been to an endocrinologist. And it's something that I really want to do now. And also we have Miss Kezia Phillip. She is a registered dietitian because of, as you know, it is a lot about nutrition. But in a holistic way, because something that might work for you may not work for me. So she's going to come and give you give her recommendations on what she thinks would be helpful for PCOS, your insulin resistance and different things. And then you could take that from that. But even more than that, I started off just having that expert circle, but because of the importance of this topic, I've had persons reach out to me. So I have now 2 fertility experts in the afternoon, as well as a strength and conditioning coach who will be joining us, because also it'll be helpful to know, because even though it has been renamed and now we know it's like a whole body condition, fertility is still something that people struggle with. So we have those speakers as well, Miss Pauline Phillips from the Billings Ovulation Methods Association, as well as Miss Davika Leela from the Barbados Fertility Center, and Miss Dana Lewis, who is our strength and conditioning coach, who's going to give information in terms of what you can do to help the different symptoms.
This is a tremendous task, as I said, you're undertaking to pull all of these people together and expertise, but also Real Talk. So there's a panel called Real Talk.
Yes.
Tell us about the kind of conversations that will take place in this.
Yes, I am so excited for this panel to have persons like yourself and Chanel Bethel Peters, known as Nellie B, or Surya Simone August, known as Simi, as well as Alana Passad. She is known as the Trini Wife Life. Because I think it is important for persons to see women who are in these spheres and they're still dealing with it, right? Because PCOS has so many different faces, and I feel like sometimes the persons who are dealing with it, you can't tell, first of all, sometimes, and they're always doing something, they're always taking care of something. They're always trying to manage the comments from persons. They always, are doing their best in every way. And I think people might compare, it's okay, where we're seeing Charlotte here, and I'm struggling home and I can't get off the bed to exercise and that sort of thing, but not realizing that we all are struggling.
In some way. We all have our struggles.
Yeah,
definitely.
and I think that part is going to be so impactful when people see okay, I could do this. And I have these people as examples, yes, but also kind of to celebrate themselves. It's like, okay, I am dealing with this condition and it has changed your life, but you're still getting up and doing what you have to do. You're still so much to so many people, and we are going through this together. So let's talk about the real issues together and see that, you know, you're not alone. It can feel isolating, but when you have those stories and you have that community, you don't feel that way as much.
Yeah, actually, you've thought of everything in this for this event. I know that this is a holistic experience as well. Anything else that we're missing out apart from the expert circle and real talk?
No, oh yes, actually, there is going to be a space as well for persons to really just share as openly as they want to, because I know sometimes dealing with this, you may not want to share as vulnerably, but I do think it's important as well. There will be a space for persons to just talk and share like what they would like to see from their healthcare providers, what type of other events they might need or other forums that they might need to share, whether it's in mental health, whether it's in fitness and the like. And also at the end of it, I do have a very small session. I had to cut it down because of the, now that we have so many more speakers, but in terms of somatic experiencing. Because what I found in my own journey is that with a condition like PCOS and just in life in general, it's very hard for a woman, for a person to stay present, to be in their body, to understand the emotions that arise from life and from dealing with a condition. So I will be doing a short session where persons could just sit and take in the information and regulate their nervous system and learn how to have that emotional regulation, because I think that's very important.
I think we all need that.
As well, and it has been a big part of my journey as well,
right.
To build that capacity to deal with those things, because there is a lot of emotions and trauma that comes up when you have a diagnosis like this, and then you have to kind of fit in every day and do what you have to, and then you kind of neglect yourself and what you're feeling just to get by. And I think it's important that we need to sit with it, because there is even a theory now that persons who have been diagnosed with this, when you look back at their history, at their journey, they could have been living in survival mode for a very long time.
Yeah.
They, you know, suppress their emotions, and it causes these type of imbalances. Of course, that's a whole other thing to talk about, but we will be touching on that for a short time in the forum as well.
Mental health is also really important as well, and very connected to PMOS. It was just recently renamed. So, you know, how important is community support, Yeshi, in your, from your perspective, when it comes to mental health during this journey of PMOS?
Yeah, it's a very important thing for me. When I think about my own journey, before I was even diagnosed, I could now think of the times where I had bouts of depression. I've dealt with anxiety, and I've spoken to other persons. Even like when I shared about the event, persons would have commented on the post saying, you know, that I'm struggling and I really need that help. Or sometimes they say even things where, you know, it's very sad to see sometimes when you feel that alone. So it's a very big part, and I think in this event, when you see the other persons and you have that community and that bonding and that sharing, it helps. But I think it's very important, if you're struggling, to reach out to get the help that you need, because it's not easy, and we have to also recognize that.
Yeah, well, actually, before we wrap up, tell us how we can register for this event, and who's coming to this event. Who could come to this event? Only people diagnosed with PCOS?
No, actually, it is meant for everybody. Just even if you think you might have the condition and you want to learn more about it, you are welcome. Your support systems, because I think that is so important as well. You need your partners, your friends, your relatives to know about this so that they can support you correctly. And if you're a healthcare professional or wellness professional and you also want to learn, it's like, okay, what can I provide to the community in a better way? You are welcome as well. And you can register at www.perseveringwithpcos.com and you fill out the form. And I want to just also stress on that, because another part of the event is to try to gather that data, because what we realize too is that we need more data in order to get more research, to get better care, and that sort of thing. So I would encourage everybody to pre-register to come to the event.
Right, yeah, she will definitely see you on Sunday for Persevering with PCOS taking place this coming Sunday. All right, we get ready to take a break. Remember, if you want to see all the stories that we've covered here, all you have to do is head across to TTT Live Online. If you have a story, idea, press release, or you want to collab with us, we'd love to hear from you. Simply send us an email at tttoday@ttt.co.tt, and you can be a part of the conversation that's shaping our nation. Trinidad and Tobago Today, all the news you can trust and the stories that matter.
The Emancipation Support Committee of Trinidad and Tobago presents IWA Africa 2026, A Flair for Freedom, a fashion odyssey weaving African consciousness through style. Directed by Richard Young at the Winifred Atwell Auditorium, Queen's Hall, St. Anne's. Sunday, 7th June 2026. 4 p.m. Prelude, 5 p.m. Presentation, 7 p.m. Pavilion. Igniting African consciousness, dismantling colonial legacies, a flair for freedom. IWA Africa 2026.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack. Whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house limes, we are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
Early prostate cancer has absolutely no signs or symptoms, and that's why we strongly push the men once a year, get out there and get screened with a digital rectal examination and a PSA, prostate-specific antigen, a blood test. Any PSA above 4 is abnormal. All men, once they hit 40 years of age, go and have that PSA test done.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
At this time, we join our colleagues at Talk City 91.1 FM as we continue our weekly link up, a space where TV and radio come together to reflect the conversations that matter. You know, we're checking in with the presenters to get a sense of how the shift is going and what's currently driving discussion on their end.
It's unfiltered, y'all.
Unmatched.
Unscripted.
You're dressed for talk. This is the link up. This is the link up with Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Good morning. Good morning, guys.
Boy.
Virmala, a pleasant good morning to you, Virmala. You look so wonderful there. I know you are entertaining your huge audience when it comes to Trinidad and Tobago Today. And Trinidad and Tobago Today have grown. It's the #1 morning program right here on TTT, man. And
yeah,
I
once you say so.
to continue to encourage other people to look on to Virmala when it comes to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Well, today's topic will be my colleague's topic, which is a very serious one. He's going on the line there of, it had a set of shooting of, killing of kids, or murdering of kids recently. And now we seen a new trend now, like the raping thing start back. So Lennox Smith.
Yes, my concern, of course, in today's news, we have 2 reports from different parts of the country, unfortunately. One from Freeport and the other one in Arima, Pinto Road to be exact in terms of the latter. And of course, that is pretty disquieting and has come on top of the manifold and many instances of crime and criminality that is taking a kind of bestial approach, and I am very concerned, and I'm sure that the general population is wondering where we are going. What's your view, Virmala?
Yeah, I agree with you, Lennox. We are definitely concerned. Throughout over the past few weeks, we've been having a lot of conversations about society and where we've gotten to and how can we change the way that we've been going. And it really comes down to individual responsibility. Yes, there are laws and there's legislation, there's governance, but also as human beings, we need to decide that we want to do better and we need to be better. Are we speaking to a breakdown in society? That's something that, last week, I remember promising that we'll come back to talking about mental health this week. So I really want to bring that in there a little bit, Andy and Lennox. People's mental health have been really compromised, especially with all the news and everything that's been happening in the world. I'm sure you see that or you hear about that a lot with your listeners.
Yes, indeed. And of course, there is another dimension where, of course, you talk about breakdown and dysfunctionality. And I think those institutions of social control, the family, the churches, the schools, what is happening? And notice I ain't reached the courts yet, or the penal system, or even the law enforcement apparatus of the country. But those are 3 fundamentals: the family, the school, and the church. And whether or not we have to revisit and revamp and, of course, pay more attention to these institutions, and more importantly, the kind of persons and their mental state that would be functioning in these various institutions. So it's quite a bit of effort we have to make with respect to correction.
But Virmala, what I would like to ask you is, what can we do to let me say, remedy our mental health at this point in time? Because in real, Trinidad and Tobago, everyone, mental health at this point in time really not going down good, especially when it coming to the crime situation, violence against children, raping of women and them things. How can we remedy our mental health?
Yeah. Over the past few weeks, we've been speaking to a lot of specialists in this regard. And one thing that they have proposed, and they continue to say, take a break. It's as simple as that sometimes. And they're saying just take a break from all the negative news. Just take a deep breath, go out, touch some grass, just inhale some fresh air, and then understand that, this is what it is at this point in time, and you need to work through it and process it. But the most important thing they're saying is social media has really been messing with us. Take a break. That's the most important point that we've been hearing. Other than that, Andy and Lennox, I really want to tell you that I also struggle sometimes because the news can become a lot. We are the ones who deliver the news every single day. You analyze the news, you break it down, and we have a really, really, really huge task every single day. So I can only imagine it affects you as well.
Yeah, so get back in touch with Natia is one of the recommendations.
Yes.
Virmala, I think the whole of Trinidad and Tobago, we need to go in the Amazon. That is the only nature I feel could remedy the Amazon forest because it's real mental health, you know.
Yeah, it definitely is, and we continue to break that down. Before we go, gentlemen, I also wanted to share with you really quickly from my side of things that this is something I know would make you really happy. This morning we were joined by the National Prosthetic Center, and they were able to share a little bit about all the procedures that have been happening in that new center in Pinal. And I must tell you, for some good news this morning for you and your listeners, things are looking great in terms of rehabilitation, fitting these people. I believe the list is about 200 people, and they're cutting it down. 29 people have been served already through the center. So this is amazing news today, and hopefully that's some good news for you.
Yes, indeed. And of course, I would want to tell people as well, these are life action, of course, diseases such as diabetes and so on. And you know, you could save those kinds of amputation. Of course, if there's an accident scenario, well, of course, you have no choice. But certainly, in terms of prevention, so that you don't have to end up, of course, looking for an artificial limb or hand.
Absolutely. Well, yes, guys, I want to say thank you so much. By the way, Lennox, you look absolutely lovely today. Andy, you look great as well. Andy.
You watch me. You had to leave like that,
Mamala, you must introduce something controversial. So after
that's how I like to leave you with a little something, so that you will both remember me for the rest of the shift. Lennox, I'm sorry to get you in trouble. Andy, I'm so sorry. Have a great day, gentlemen.
As per usual.
I will talk to you on Wednesday.
Yes.
Have a good one. Yes. All right. Thank you, Andy and Lennox. That was the link up with Talk City 91.1 FM.
It's unfiltered, y'all.
Unmatched.
Unscripted.
You're dressed for talk. This is the link up. This is the link up with Talk City 91.1 FM.
Honoring the beauty of Indian heritage, TTT invites you to immerse yourself in Desi May as we mark Indian Arrival Month with color, music, and magic of Indian cinema. Throughout May, enjoy your favorite Bollywood hits and timeless classics, from iconic blockbusters to treasured favorites, bringing the heart of India straight to your screen. Tune in every Saturday at 8:35 p.m. and every Sunday from 4 p.m. to experience rich traditions, captivating stories, and unforgettable characters that continue to inspire generations. Plus, watch, text, and get rewarded for our exciting viewer promotion. Desi May, celebrating Indian Arrival Month, exclusively on TTT.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
TTT News every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Well, once again, we're at summer's doorstep. The action is picking up with a variety of events that'll thrive alongside all of the popular attractions. Hello everyone, I'm Aidan St. Agath, and welcome to Caribbean Passport TV.
All eyes will be on Antigua this summer for the 2026 Carnival celebrations, to which everyone is invited to feel the rhythm. With over 2 months of pre-events to warm things up, Antigua and Barbuda is event and activity driven. So if eco-adventure and marine life are among your passions, then Scooter Snorkeling is the tour company for you.
Barcelona drawing a game, not winning their first set of game. Worried, concerned.
Emotional damage is fun to see.
What a wonderful finish.
Yes, see any story. Let me come again. One more time.
On Wednesdays, we're joined by the Camino Realty International team as we focus on a wide range of real estate topics to educate, support, and empower prospective homeowners throughout the property purchasing process. So this morning, it's a pleasure to have you back with us. Good morning and welcome back to the Managing Director, Ms. Rachel Ramnall. Hi, Rachel.
Good morning, Virmala.
So now that we've touched on some of the key documents required in property transactions, I want to switch the focus a little bit this morning on the personal aspect of real estate. So let's talk about real estate agents. What are some of the key characteristics or the traits that are necessary for real estate agents?
That's a good question. So, good agents, the first thing they need to understand is their clients, obviously, right? So there are several characteristics or traits that are important for agents. Some of them, communication, obviously. You need to be able to communicate with the clients. You need to be able to determine what their needs are versus their wants, We talk about buying property and holding on to things like sentimental value and how that affects the vendor and the purchaser. There's things like honesty. You must be honest. You must have integrity. You must have some sense of market knowledge. Again, because at the end of the day, when you are choosing an agent, you as the purchaser, you are putting your trust into that person to guide you throughout the transaction. Another key trait or characteristic is having the entrepreneurial mindset. At the end of the day, I don't know if you look at any real estate shows, but if you look at those shows, you'll see that they live very lavish lifestyles.
Yes.
So a lot of agents, our local agents, they get caught up and they think, oh my God, I could go into real estate and I'll probably be a millionaire and I'll probably make, $1 million overnight. But it's not that, you get what you put in. So you have to put in the work as an agent. Again, that goes back to you having knowledge about the market, about trends, about property prices, being aware of the different aspects of real estate. So not just walking into a property and saying, well, this is a bathroom, this is a bedroom, this is a kitchen. Obviously, the person could see, what that looks like, right? You have to have a greater depth of knowledge when it comes to all of the aspects of real estate. So understanding valuation reports, why you need it, understanding the sale agreement, different sections, understanding your survey plans. All of those things are important and would obviously create a positive impact on the clients and the purchasers.
Now, what about your image? What about, things like dressing the part? Is that important for real estate agents as well?
Of course it is. So culturally, we tend to judge people or perceive people based on how they dress. So I can give you an example. Suppose somebody shows up in a nice fancy car, proper suit, they have their little laptop bag and, they're well groomed versus somebody who comes to you.
Shorts,
flip-flops, they have a hole in the shirt. You're going to, mentally and subconsciously, you are going to judge that person. That is the reality of it. So we try to tell our agents, make sure you are always dressed properly. At the end of the day, we do live in the tropics, so I don't expect agents to go out in suits and tie. No. You know, jeans and a shirt, a t-shirt, a proper shirt, proper shoes. The woman, we always tell them, make sure your hair is neat, don't wear anything too short, don't wear anything too revealing.
Yes.
Some people might like it, but we don't encourage it, you know.
So what are some other tips as well for someone who is probably just entering the industry and they're thinking, you know, they want to be an agent?
My tip would be teachable.
Okay.
There are a lot of things that you can learn, and there are a lot of things that you would be exposed to in this industry. And my main takeaway for all of my agents is always be teachable, be open to learning new things and having new experiences and stepping out of your comfort zone.
From our interactions with Camino agents, we know that your agents are different, and you know, everything that you stated at the start of this segment, we can always see that with them, and we know that they really just put their best foot or feet forward for their clients. Now, Rachel, before we wrap up, you actually told me last week that you may have a surprise for me this week. So
yes.
What exactly is that surprise?
So, as you rightfully said, Camino is not like any other agency. One thing our chairman has instilled in us is being able to collaborate and work together with other people. Not just in your career, but also just people. At the end of the day, we are humans and we need each other. So what we are launching today actually is our Support Local campaign, where we will be partnering with small businesses, local small businesses. We will be partnering with them to basically just boost their presence and to bring knowledge about or spread awareness about their business through our social media platforms. And we do have some giveaways in store. So the first business we'll be partnering with is the Angry Guppy. It is a gourmet dessert shop located on the Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. It's pretty simple. You just have to go to our social media page. You'll see the post. You like, share, you comment done, and then at the end of the competition, we pick a random winner and you get a voucher.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Rachel, for being here. We always enjoy our time, and thank you very much to the Camino team for being here with us every Wednesday. Thank you to the Camino team once again. Just a few seconds before we have to wrap it up. Today Carrie's up next with the major network news at the top of the hour. This is where I say thank you so much for being here. We join you tomorrow 6 to 8 where we do Tobago Thursday. Thanks to all our guests for being here with us this morning. Another link up in store for you tomorrow as well. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Best ही लगी हुआ ना कितने का? This one is only 1,31,900 rupees. ये क्या बात कर रहे हो यार? 1,31,900 रुपए का फोन? इतने में तो हमारे यहाँ एक शादी, 2 मुंडन और पूरे मोहल्ले के बच्चों का हैप्पी बर्थडे हो जाता है। वो भी ऑर्केस्ट्रा के।
क्या बात करता है यार? गणपति ने तेरे सामने आके तुझसे बात की? और नहीं तो क्या? गणपति जी मेरे सामने आए और मेरे कान में बोले कि अजय, अगर तू अपनी मम्मी को खुश देखना चाहता है तो आज ही अपने डैडी के स्टूडियो जा उनका हाथ पकड़ और उनसे अपनी मम्मी की शादी के बारे में बात कर। बाकी सब मैं संभाल लूंगा।
वो सब संभाल सकते हैं यार, वो तो भगवान है, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं।
इसीलिए तो मैं
फिर सनम माना फिर सनम माना हो इससे पहले नहीं ठहरे रहना वहीं आ जाना अभी नहीं जब मैं
Good morning. This is your CDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. According to Minister of Health Dr. Lakram Bodo, there are more than 200 people waiting for prosthetics in Trinidad and Tobago. With the recent opening of the country's first national prosthesis center in Pinal, that waiting list is being addressed. Partnerships advisor for the Ministry of Health, David Constant, described the importance of the new facility.
Leading the charge and cutting down on the waiting list for amputations. But from my, as the health partnerships advisor, the Ministry of Health, it really has a personal effect on me because you can see how international cooperation between Trinidad and Tobago and India has resulted in tangible benefits to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Manager of the program, Riyad Hassan Ali, highlighted the work that is taking place at the center since it was opened.
They come into the center where we have a medical orderly who will assist the patient in, take them to the reception area where the forms have been filled out, simple database forms. We assess the patient, we measure, fit, fabricate, and we measure, fabricate, and fit. So the patient comes in on a wheelchair and they walk out with their prosthesis, same day.
Mr. Hassan Ali noted that parents come into the center via referrals. He added that they are currently processing 2 or 3 patients per day as they get up to their full strength. In more news, ahead of the IWA Africa 2026, a panel discussion explored Carnival's evolution and its enduring role as a space for freedom, identity, and cultural expression. Guided by designer and creative director Richard Young, the conversation brought together influential voices which reflected on Carnival's changing landscape, examining questions of authenticity, personal choice, and the delicate balance between tradition and modern influence.
Has to be the interplay between the spectator and the performer of the mass. And I must look in your eye and see you enjoying me, and you looking at me, seeing you enjoying me. And that little intangible wonderfulness is gone.
Mr. Young steered a reflection on Carnival's shifting soul, where freedom, identity, and culture meet and evolve. Freedom emerged as a choice and self-knowing, a space to hold grief and possibility to become. Chairperson of the O2N Foundation, Nicole Dyer Griffith, likened it to oxygen, vital, invisible, and easily tainted.
The conversation that you are framing, sometimes the oxygen can be very polluted, which is one of the things that you all are looking at, seeing how you can impact. And so you have that paradigm between needing oxygen, but having to find a balance to keep that oxygen as pure as you possibly can. And I think that also ties into choice, Attila, in terms of how do you make choices that impact your freedom? And when you make these choices, what is the price you have to pay for making some of these choices?
Ultimately, the discussion framed freedom as a balance between personal choice, identity, and societal constraints, while also connecting Carnival, sustainability, and cultural tradition with the need for innovation and environmental responsibility. In sport now, West Indies women cricketers recently completed a training camp in Newport, Wales, ahead of the upcoming Tri-Series versus Ireland women and Pakistan women. Here's assistant coach Damien Wright giving his thoughts on the effects of the camp.
Yeah, it's been terrific. I have to say, like we had a tough series against Australia, and then a 4 to 5 week break after that. And that 4 or 5 weeks, I think the girls have gone away and trained really hard and done a lot of fitness work, sharpened up their skills a little bit, and I can honestly say it's been a really nice start to what's going to be a great campaign for us going into this World Cup. But the attitude and energy levels of the girls have been super, and we probably deserved the day off today, but they've been training really, really well, and I'm really excited what's ahead.
And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From the entire TT team, have a great day.
This is TTT. Live for local.